Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the award winning recovery podcast, Get in the Herd. I am your host today, Nathan Mitchell, and today we are with, I'm going to adjust this really quick. There we go. We are with Kenyatta over here. Kenyatta with two T's. Welcome to the show, my friend. You have now been with us almost 28 days. Is it 28 days today?
No, Saturday.
Saturday. Okay, so on Saturday it'll be 28 days. You came to us from one of our jail programs. You've been here almost 28 days, and you're about to transition from the 28-day program into step-up housing. I know you've already moved already, so it's a little bit early, but you're still doing the program rules, which means you got to be up here this at least Saturday anyway, right?
Yeah.
What's going on, man? Tell me a couple different things. Let's start with the jail program. You were at RSW, Rappahannock, Shenandoah, Warren Regional Jail, and you were with the McShin Pod there. Is that correct?
Yeah. Back in 2018, I was in the drug pod for a little bit, and then I ended up going home in 2019. But this last time I got locked up, I was not in the drug pod because I was in max. I was a maximum security inmate.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but I knew Cricket from the program or whatever,
Yeah.
and I reached out to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you reach out to him?
Um,
You
I
write a
call,
letter? You called him.
I
Okay.
called him. Yeah.
Well, our resources are limited in jail, so
I
um,
called him.
you called him. Yeah. You you were in jail. You got out for a little while, and I know you've told me some of your story, and you were just in jail again before you got here. Tell me about why reach out now. Now you're a 23-year-old guy, and I know this about you is that of the last 10 years, you spent what 9 years in jails in institutions, and we're going to talk about that. And I'm glad you're willing to talk about that because there's some crap in there that I'd like to get to. But 9 years, why now? Like why? Like when I was 23, like you couldn't have told me I needed help. Like I was just about to launch into more and more and more and more. And right now you're reaching out, you're saying I can't do this. I need some help. I can't do this on my own. I need some help. Can you help me? What happened?
Well, I mean, I think there's just a point in time where you're just, you know, some people just have enough, and I had enough, and all the time I've done, you know, I I've met a lot of, you know, goofy people,
Goofy.
in the way people, but I've also met a lot of real people.
Yeah.
Some of the realest people I've met, were locked up, and and some of them are never gonna be able to come home. So they used to sit down and talk to me and just tell me like, this ain't what you want. This is not, you are so young, you can get out and change your life and actually do something, and then maybe help people that are in the same situation as you, or even worse, and that motivates me
Yeah.
to do better.
Well, what makes it? I know some of your stories, so and I don't want to go too far into your story. I mean, it's not really. mm, I don't want to define you by your story. I feel like there's a chance when we start to tell our stories in recovery. Sometimes the story I tell becomes my identity in a negative way. It can still be a negative thing. And I noticed this about you, when you first got here and I talked to you, I noticed that, I joked around a couple times with you and made some silly offhanded jail references, right? And you actually, I'm really grateful you did this. You reminded me, in a man, why's it got to be about jail? You reminded me that I don't want to do that to you. I don't want to keep you pigeonholed mentally myself. I don't want to keep you pigeonholed into that spot. But also, just by joking and kicking it, it's not necessarily helpful. And I'm glad you did that because you helped me see, more of you and get a better view of you but also help me for the next person I talk to, because I don't want to be that person reminding somebody of severe trauma. And that's what you, I mean, essentially that's what you were telling me in the way that you were just like, man, why's it got to be about jail? And I'm like, I'm really grateful for that, because you are, I've gotten to know you over the last couple months, a couple weeks here, and I'm really impressed with a lot of the things that you do and the way you handle yourself. And some of the things I'm like, so he's 23. And it's like, I was telling Art right before the show, and I think I told you as well. I said, all right, Art, be ready to jump in. He's going to annoy the hell out of me at some point while we're having this conversation. And I said, not because of who you are, but because you're 23 and I'm literally twice your age, 46 over here. And I'm thinking, oh, sometimes I just want to knock some sense into these guys and like, come on, man, it's not that bad. It's like, yeah, get it now. But at the same time, it's like at 23, go see the world and do the things that are fun, and find the balance. You make fun of my driving. I am a speed demon, right? I'm a speed demon, and my driving record reflects that. So I've learned that if I want to keep my insurance down, if I want to keep myself out of trouble, it's probably best that I'm a little more cautious. And my car is a little older and I'm a little nervous about some pieces of the car. It's like I'm going to be cautious when I have people in it, but catch me when I'm alone and I'm late. Ooh, ooh, you zipping around in that car. It's a turbo. It zips actually. So the point of that is like I'm really glad that you're here and you keep sharing who you are and being this person who is been. I'm learning is just a very open person with who you are. That's a really beautiful thing. I know you had some significant pieces of your life that were traumatic, and certainly the time that you spent in jail, man. Let's talk about that a little bit, if you don't mind. Like, 13 years old, you're going to jail for the first time, right? I don't know what happened. You share, or don't share, but you got sentenced to a year, right? What happened after that?
Um, well, I didn't come home until I was 17 and almost 18,
Almost 18. And so you went in at 13,
and came home when I was almost 18.
sentenced to a year, but you were 18, 50 months about. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
How the hell does a year long sentence get turned into almost 5 years? Until 4.5 years? Yeah. You,
Broken system. I don't
broken
know.
system?
Yeah, we was all wild when we was young.
Yeah. So
We just didn't care.
you're 13. What did you do to that? What happened in the system? Like, what do you get? Like an extra 90 days for doing what?
Yeah, so once you get yeah, say if you get a release date or whatever, and then you get into a fight or you catch a charge or whatever, it sets it back either 30 or 90 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just an insanely rigged system, and so I appreciate you talking about that. And I know I didn't want to go too far, and I don't want to bring up the stuff, but what I do hope for you and for your sake, as you explore your recovery and move forward, getting into those years, it's a lot of time. And I couldn't imagine taking all that time away from somebody and not having somebody left really resentful. So when I see you and you've got this really kick-ass, funny, goofy in the way I mean it, silly, um, uh, um, sense of humor, I'm like, how do you have that sometimes? Like, I'm like legit. Like, how is this guy as upbeat, got such a sense of
I mean,
humor as
you kind of got to. You just can't walk around just all, me mugged all the time.
mean mugged all the time?
Yeah, you can't do that.
We got somebody up there. Do you know Mariah Pinkston up here? She says, I'm assuming you are not your illness. You're much greater than that. I like that. That kind of talking about not being put into being pigeonholed. Well, now that you're here, right? So you did the jail program. You reached out to Cricket. How did that process work? You reached out to Cricket. How did you get here?
Um, well, I had a very good friend. um,
Okay.
she helped me out. She called Cricket, and
This is a friend I met.
yeah.
Shout out. I won't say her name, but shout out.
hmm She might be watching this.
That's cool.
hmm
That's cool.
But yeah, she's a good person, man. But she helped me out, and she called Cricket, emailed him, and things like that. And actually, the day of court, I was supposed to go to a different program, and they never sent me a letter. So my aunt texted Samantha, and she just was like, a, the one program never sent the letter, so he's probably not going to get out for another 2 weeks or a month or whatever. So she texted Cricket, and within 2.5 seconds, Cricket texted back and was like, he asked her a couple of questions, and then he called my lawyer, my, and when I went to court, they was like, my lawyer was like, look, me and the prosecutor got you a program, put you in a program. You're leaving today. And I
Hmm.
was like, bet. So
Better than the jail program.
yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Better than sitting up in Max.
that's for damn sure, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That pod was messed up. Like, ain't no one played poker, no one played basketball. So it's just,
Is that how you spent most of your jail time?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They can ask about me too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Play any spades?
yeah. I play spades, poker, pinochle, bid whiz.
Did you have the store box?
I had a store box one time. Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
What's the sword box?
Um. So you get commissary every Friday night. So say on Monday night or Tuesday night you don't got no food and you're hungry, and you would come to the store box man or whatever, and you would tell him like, look, can I get 2 honey buns? I'll give you 3 back on Friday. So it's just interest.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just paying interest.
My jail time, like I've told you, is limited. I think total of like 78 days or something in 2 different sections. So, but I was fascinated at the way that I was really fascinated by so much of culture and how people adapt to really really horrible
We'll
situations.
see that. Yeah, that's one thing I learned at a young age. Like, I learned how to adapt to my environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. What made you so resourceful?
Well, I mean, if you gotta adapt, you know what I'm saying. If not, you know, if you don't adapt to your environment, then you're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said something earlier about some of the people you met, and you met some of the best people who are behind bars and people who still, who will never come back, will never get back. And I found that in just a few days that my time there, some of the best people, the people who gave me the best suggestions for my life, some of the worst suggestions too. But I found some real deep honesty in jail. You spent 9 years in jail. Um, you've got you've got you're young obviously, but you have and what's the word I'm looking for? A very you have gravitas. You have weight, like you have depth
Mhm.
to you.
Yeah.
And a depth that is unexpected because I'll be
Well,
honest. I mean, I meet somebody. I'm like, okay, they're 23. He's looking just out of jail and looking silly and not silly, but like not like me. And of course, I look silly, but I judge people. I mean, it's normal for me, and I know this about myself. So I know that one of the things I'm most grateful for is that my first thought is not my last, doesn't have to be my last thought, which means that I'm going to have the first thought about somebody and it's not always going to be a good thought. And I can either sit in that thought or I can get to know somebody and find out that I'm wrong. Which is when I'm really grateful when that happens. And you're one of those people. Like, of course, I had some thoughts about you. This guy, man, he's just trying to beat around, whatever. I don't know what the hell I thought about you. And I had one look at you and I'm like, and I got to talk to you and more. And I'm like, this guy's got some depth to him. Like he's got you're smart as hell. And you're just got some depth to you. And I'm like, I just like you make me, and it made me grateful that you reached out and you have a friend on the, outside that helped you get in here too, because, people around here want to help people who want to get helped. and you have shown some real honesty with me, and I'm probably with other people too, I would imagine, that I'm like, all right, this kid's working on himself, and I like that about you. I cut you off, Art, didn't I? I'm sorry.
No, that's right. No, I was just gonna say he's got like he's young, but he's also seems like he's older.
Yeah.
He's maturity wise. You know what I'm saying? You've
Yeah.
been through some shit. You have, you know, and you just I'm sure you're already doing it, and I could see it. You're using that as a tool, and it's a good one to have. Is experienced, and
Yeah. It's funny because I'm sitting and I know a lot of your story and I know a lot of your story, and y'all know some of mine, probably a lot more of mine too. And I think of the two of you, and I don't, Art, you haven't shared a lot of your story up here. Oh, Samantha is watching. Is that the Samantha? Samantha Sinclair? Shout out. Hey. Hey girl. I'm just saying. Hey Samantha. I know both y'all's story a little bit, and I know that I know what you've gone through. A lot of what you've gone through. Some of what you've gone through. I know some of what you've gone through, and I'm like, I that's inspiring to me. I mean, it's like, okay, great. Like we can take these big giant traumatic experiences and we can sit in those and we can use over those. We can blame ourselves, we can isolate, we can just do that, or we can say, "You know what? I've had enough. I want to get better. I can do something else, and let me do that, and reach out for help." And like, you did by calling Ryan, and working on that. You did that by calling Cricket and having Samantha, and for me, I love that. Like, this is the why I love doing this stuff, is like seeing these things grow and seeing people find themselves. And so now you've been here almost 28 days. Tell us about that experience.
Well, I mean, at first, I was bucking on it at first.
Oh, so you had some first thoughts about us that weren't the best either, huh?
Nah, just some of the
Yeah.
groups are just a little,
Boring as F.
yeah, you know.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I actually I sat my ass down and I started listening to certain people that I can relate, I can relate to or whatever. And I mean, I don't know. Found a lot. I found out a lot about myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the past like week.
You want to share anything? What do you think? What did you find out about yourself? Ooh, tough question, huh?
Well, see, this is one thing I learned. I learned that addiction, right? Well, using drugs is just a symptom to addiction. You know, uh, my house leader, he gave me this book, and then he told me to read this one section, and it said uh, obsession and compulsion.
Hmm.
And I was obsessed about the the lifestyle I was living or whatever, and I was obsessed over it. So you know, that's one thing I learned,
Yeah.
and it stuck to me. Yeah, because like I said at first, I was like, what, I'm not, you know, I don't be doing none of this. I don't do none of this shit that these people be saying they doing, But you know, I don't know.
I spent a lot of time. I still do. I still have to. I still struggle with identifying out, which sounds to me like you might have been doing initially, and I didn't do that. I wasn't that bad, or that wasn't my story. And yeah, actually, there are certain things that aren't my story. And for sure, I'm not going to try to own somebody else's story and make it mine. I don't need to. um, it's about finding and identifying my story. Identifying that problem. Here we go. Here we go. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna talk about it.
let's do it.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. Identifying that problem, right, and then identifying the solution. We're doing the whole Jesse group right now. I didn't realize it, but that's where we're going with this. Identifying the problem, right, and generally the problem is me. Identifying the solution. Well, all right, yeah, okay, I can take the drugs and alcohol out, but now I'm left with all the other crap that is still, me. It's like I wasn't exactly Mr. Honesty and helpful and useful. And when I first got in, I'm still not always right. And putting that solution, whatever that is, into action. And for me, a lot of the action for me is just sometimes often being quiet. It's funny because you tell me I talk all the time, and I do. But listening more, I suppose. Maybe it's making connections. I don't know, man. I don't know where the hell I'm going with that necessarily.
There's this thing I had printed out and I was thinking about it. It's called the space between. So it's talking about the space between a feeling and an impulse, and then the space between words and actions. So it says between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom.
Mm,
And that's Viktor Frankl. Um, that's something that I have had a hard time practicing in the past. Usually, my feeling or impulses led me straight to a negative action, which in the past has been using. And now I'm thinking more, and I'm noticing that my actions and not so much my words in the past, but that's also been an issue. Is it's just it's growth. It is growth.
yeah.
Just taking time to pause and
I'm glad you brought that up because I won't share what you shared. You can share your story or not, but I want to reflect on a part of your story that you have shared with me in the past. And I may have already shared this with you too. So forgive me if I'm repeating myself. But when right before I got, clean, I'll use that word, right before I got clean, um, I got to the point where I did the most, hands down, the most despicable thing I've ever done. And just like I when I look at myself, I think of myself as that person. I that person is so foreign to Nathan as a person. It's like I don't know who that guy was, and yet that's where I was. And let's be real here. Like I'm on the ground, and I was. You got to imagine me 60 pounds lighter, and strong, tweaking out, right? And I'm on the ground, just about to wail on somebody, and I don't even know why I was angry. I was tweaked, and he's crying, like crying, and I'd already hit him a few times, and I stop, and he gets up, and there's, I'm not exactly calm, but I've stopped the wanting to beat the rage, whatever that rage was coming. The rage was, I don't know where that's coming from still, but he says to me that I made him feel like his uncle made him feel, and his uncle raped him as a child. And for me to do that to somebody else and make somebody feel that way, and to know that I can that power is in me to do that is a horrible feeling. A horrible feeling. Somebody telling me I made him feel that way. I never, like, I mean, in the moment I recognized how horrible that was, and I would love to say that was the moment I put everything down, but the reality was a week later I'm banging on his door, getting ready to do that again. And I'm really grateful that he called the cops on me, because that would have been a nasty situation. And it's taken me some time, because for a while early in recovery, every time I thought about using, I had that image of his face crying on the ground, me being about to hit him again. That was the image that popped up when I thought about using, every single time. And it kept me from using for a long time, right? I was like, yeah, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. But what it kept doing was re-trauma, re-putting me in that trauma, and re-saying I'm this awful, terrible piece of shit person. And up until right about 11 months, that worked. And then I went, well, I'm sick of this, Chris. I'm up and I'm down, and I'm up and I'm down, and I know how to level this shit out. And what's the freaking point, right? I'm screaming at my sponsor in the car. And, he fortunately, he's had a lot of experience with this. And he, calmed me down and said, look, it's probably going to get worse, but it'll get better. But you'll find some way to do it. And he didn't really, actually, to be honest, I don't know that he gave me the best suggestions in the world. What I got from the situation, though, is because he was just calm with me and didn't overreact, is the cool thing, right? He didn't reinforce that I'm a piece of shit where I felt, and he didn't coddle me either. He didn't like, oh, it's gonna be okay, blah blah. I was like, no, that wasn't that would have been unhelpful too. But what I came to discover after that was that I needed to get into forgiveness of myself, the situation, and all the things, and it's still something I work every day. I work on forgiving myself. Working on not being a piece of shit by not being a piece of shit, and recognizing that, yes, drugs and alcohol can take me to that person, but I am not that person. I'm not defined by that violence. And what really is scary, because I got deeper into it, right around that year mark, and was looking at things, and I thought that was a one-off. Turns out, like, if when I was really honest with myself through my life, there are periods where I was that violent a few times throughout my life, several times throughout my life. And I guess I either just, it just became a thing I didn't think about or talk about. And so when I think about what you shared with me about your story and how that's affected you, I think, at some point, I hope that you find a way to get into that space of loving yourself and forgiving yourself and caring about yourself and the whole situation in general, because you messed up stuff. And I don't want you to be 45, 46 years old and figuring this shit out. Do it when you're 23, and then go find a beautiful woman and have kids and do the things. So, thoughts on that?
Nah,
we get deep around here.
nah. I mean, yeah, I feel everything you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely forgave myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgave myself for what I did.
Good. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, it definitely changed me, made me a different person. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it as that.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. To bring everything in here. I mean, I thought, what was that? It sounded like a goat in the background.
That was my watch. My
Your
bad.
what? Did it sound like a little goat in the background? Yeah, right. Yeah, we have farm animals here. We have fun on the show here.
Do you want to take a short commercial break?
I do. It's that time, isn't it?
It is.
All right, let's do that. All right, hey, listen, we'll be right back, and then I want to talk about a couple things we got going on in the next couple days. All right, thanks, Art.
Here at McShin, we believe in the McShin way, which is authentic recovery support service providers, people with lived experience, bringing that experience to those who need that lived experience in recovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in many things to support our mission. We believe in women empowerment.
What I love most about what we believe here at McShin is we believe in the authenticity of the peer-to-peer approach.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in giving people opportunity.
Here at McShin, we believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person.
At the McShin Foundation, we believe in helping people reach their full potential.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in multiple pathways to recovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in placing principles before personalities to help spread hope.
Here at McShin, we believe that recovery is possible and that any person seeking recovery can become a more acceptable, responsible, and productive member of society.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in self-discovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in saving lives and offering second chances.
Here at McShin, we believe you can do this.
Here at McShin Foundation, we believe that we can only keep what we have by giving away, which is why we continue to help others like us seek and find recovery.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the award-winning recovery podcast, Getting the Herd, brought to you by the McShin Foundation. I'm Nathan Mitchell, your host. We have Art over here as your producer today.
Art's here. Gart.
Gart, Gart, I'm channeling Ira Glass today. Anybody, any NPR listeners, um, talking very slowly, very careful pauses, speaking gently, and yeah, I'll put you all to sleep anyway. And we've got one of two Kenyatas here. Oh my God, smoke meat, not drugs. Johnny Fab over there. Hey Johnny, we were looking at some pictures the other day. I was showing Art who you are. Good to see you, bud. And then we have somebody I don't know, Linda Clark, who says, "Enjoyed lunch over. Get back to work." Oh, got to get back to work. Yeah, sorry, Linda.
Lunch over. Yeah, I got to get back to work.
I believe it or not, we've got this big giant screen in front of us, and I can't read. And then she says, "We are not what we did in active addiction." Thanks, Linda. Shout out. So welcome back. We've got Kenyatta over here, one of two we have in the program currently.
Two T's.
Yeah, Kenyatta with Kenyatta versus Kenyatta. Yeah, Kenyatta was on the show a couple months ago. Before you, did you do that show with us?
I did not know.
Okay, yeah. So with Justin a few months ago. You've been in the program 28 days. You weren't buying into it initially. Where did the shift happen? What happened to make you start? Because now when you come and talk to me, like you talk to me about stuff, and you talk to other people about stuff, and about what you want to do. Where was the shift, if you can identify it?
Well, like I said, I don't want to move back up, Northern Virginia. I don't want to move back up there because I already know what I'm gonna get myself into. Maybe.
Yeah.
I talked to a really good friend of mine in prison all the time, and he's he's always at my ass about certain things, and he told me I mean, like I said, he'd be at my ass a lot, so he just told me I need to stay down here and focus on myself and get myself right, because the things I was doing, I ain't never gonna achieve or touch any of the things I want to be able to. So I'm gonna take advantage of the program. I'm gonna take advantage of everything so I can come up from it. I mean, I feel like I deserve that. All my life, I just been chasing, certain things, but it's time to do it the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned not being able to get the things that you want, your goals. What are some of your goals?
Well, actually, right now I was thinking like I don't really have. No. I don't really know what I want to do. In the future. I haven't really been home that long to experience anything for me to like or anything like that. But some of my short-term goals is right now is to get my license, to get my ID, which I'm getting this weekend. My ID. Possibly getting a CDL license. It's good money. I don't got no kids. I don't got no ties nowhere, so
yeah.
Get to travel.
I get to travel a little bit, yeah, and it's good money. I could save up, stack up money, and then hopefully, but while doing all that, I'll find out what path I want to go down. It all just comes down. I just want to have money. I just want to have money. I want to be able to have money, do what I want.
Let's put a pin in what you just said, because this dovetails nicely with conversations I've had with Art and talking about wanting the money, right? The money. What does
all of it?
All the monies, right? I want all the monies. Of course, if you have all the money, then it completely ceases to have any purpose or value. So, what does money give you? What is
security?
Money gives you security. Say more on that. What is security?
Just like Forrest Gump said, one less thing to worry about.
Okay.
So having money is just it is a real sense of security, not having to worry about anything really. I mean, just how you're gonna live and do the things you want to do. Money just makes things easier, honestly. It really does.
Well, so that always leads me to okay, let you do the things you want to do. So what are the things you want to do?
Some of the things that takes money that I want to do, that is travel, being able to leave work, and traveling is expensive, especially now with gas and everything. I mean, being able to buy a house, being able to support a family, all those things they take money.
Okay. Good. Okay. I like that. What do you hear from that? What about you? What does money give you?
It gives me the things that I want.
Fair enough. So what are the things you want?
You know, I don't know.
Yeah. Money is possibilities.
Yeah, yeah.
I see it as possibilities. I see it as I mean, I see it as security too. That's much more of my thing these days than it was probably when I was your age. And that's a
that has changed for me.
Yeah.
Being here at McShin and having these conversations with Nathan it's changed my view on money. I still want all the money, but
yeah. Well,
but the reason behind it is changed. Before it was more of an identity for me. Having the nice clothes, the nice cars, the being able to go out and party and stuff, and now I want money, but for different reasons, just to be comfortable and secure, and that house and those things. My goals have changed a little bit, and the things I want have changed. So,
and I think that's a good thing.
It is.
I think that's a good thing. And I also think possibilities is a good thing too. I think, in Nathan's humble opinion, like if we're not constantly challenging ourselves to do new things or try new things, then what's the point? And that's the open-minded. If we talk in the language of 12 steps, that's that open-mindedness, that willingness, that humility, that honesty, peace, right there, that acceptance piece. Because money gives me that freedom too. Like money gives me the freedom to go do things that I wouldn't necessarily do or wouldn't, wouldn't. But when I sit down and I think about, all right, what is it that I want to do? And then I realize I can sit there and put resources that may not be money into place, like for instance, I did this just this week. We were talking about it yesterday and this morning. I mean, something nerdy that I love to do, but I love going to the symphony. I love, and it's expensive AF, right? Like I can't go to the symphony on what I make here. But what I can do, right? What I can do is I can volunteer to be an usher, and I can go listen and I can help people find their seats, and then I can go listen for free. And I'm like, oh yeah. And I've been saying this for years that I'm going to do this. And finally this week, I'm like, let me just actually, this is one small thing. I can make a phone call or send it out an email. And I got a response back. And, and hopefully I'll be doing that soon. Right. It's like, what is the actual goal? The goal, money is great, but like, what does the money buy me? Oh, I don't need money to do that. The beach. I love the beach too, right? And I can go to Virginia Beach and I can spend money, or if it's the beach that I want, the sun, the water, the sand, there's actually a really nice beach. I don't know if it's the one y'all went to. That's why I was asking you that. There was this place in Hampton that I went to a couple last year that my sister discovered, and it's a nature preserve, right? It didn't though. Yeah, maybe it wasn't the same place,
Yeah,
but
nah, we had boardwalks there.
oh yeah, and that can be fun too. Like I like the people too, but like usually when I go to the beach, I want to be alone. It's just me. It's a personal thing. But this beach, it's like didn't have to spend a lot of money. It was right there. I didn't have to pay to park. There wasn't 1,000 people there. I wasn't going to spend money on 1,000 things because there weren't 1,000 things to spend money on, and I didn't have to cross the tunnel either, which was also nice. Um, and so it's like, what is it that I actually want versus, okay, I have this money and these possibilities, because I can be overwhelmed by possibilities too, and certainly security is good too, but it gets to the point of, well, all right, what do I want? Do I need a better car, a faster car, a newer car, or can I get along with my, I put in a brand new transmission in and a new axle into my car recently. That's why I'm a little hesitant, because in my head I still have that old axle in my head, and so it's scary, if worried that the axle's going to go break on me. So I haven't kind of gotten acclimated to having that new piece in me. That's why I drive that car that way. But I have a brand new axle and a new transmission in the car. It's going to last me another 50,000 miles. If I don't do anything terribly screwed up, right? I'm fine. The AC doesn't work all that great. Well, deal with it, right? Deal with it. I have to deal with it. Other people can choose to ride in my car or not, right? You know, do I like to go out to eat? Yeah. Like go out to. I still haven't gotten reimbursed. I need to get reimbursed. Um, but like I'll go out to sushi, right? The three of us we have a couple of people up here. The three of us went out for sushi with another participant last week, right? And normally in a situation like that, I would have made it a point to do lunch because we could have gotten the same food cheaper. But it really wasn't that expensive if you think about it. The four of us, and I had a blast. Did you have a blast?
Yes, and it was your birthday.
Oh yeah, it was my birthday. Yeah, but I'm also yeah, I mean, I appreciate that, but I'm also of the opinion that I want to go out to dinner at least once every pay period.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
Kenyatta was adventurous, trying stuff.
Yeah, you had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a blast, man. But and it's actually like to the. Well, I'm sorry, I cut you off, but you had fun, right? Yeah, you tried some different things, right? We had sushi. Um, I want to get out and eat some more food. You mentioned Love and Thai the other day, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't found a really good Thai place. Hey, if anybody, Pat, you might know a good Thai place. Let me know in the comments or text me later. Because I'm constantly getting Thai food delivered to my house, and I'm constantly getting greasy, nasty, just subpar Thai food.
I like what Johnny said here about let
Oh
me
yeah,
put
look,
that
we
up.
put it up there. Yeah, go ahead. You want to read it?
Sure. He said, money is a question that is always a challenge. I found that money has given me a sense of security that I do not have to worry about my needs and have the ability to explore what I want in my life. So that's true. Because money is, it's definitely a need, right? Especially in this world, you need money to do things. Everything
Right.
costs money, really. But if once you have money, it does give you the opportunity to explore the things that you want,
Hmm.
because things that you want cost money. You know what I'm saying? So it's freedom. It is freedom.
It is freedom, but I'm going to challenge that a little bit because I think when I tie money to everything that I need and I want, I'm missing out on opportunities. And I'll say why. In my story, I tell it all the time, but I literally moved down here with a bag of groceries and a bag of clothes, right? And I no money. Maybe I had $11. I think it was $11 I had on me, maybe seven, something absurd. Like I wasn't smoking yet, and then I shortly started smoking, and then I was bumming off everybody, and everybody hated that, right? You know how that is, right? And yeah, and what I've learned though is that, is it that I want the money to buy groceries or I just want groceries? And the reason I say that is because I found, when I was really broke and had nothing, like I found a really great food bank that was not only willing to help me out with food, and Pat and I go, willing to help me out with food, but like I could go and volunteer. And I help these this Sherry watches the show sometimes, Sherry. But I love to I'll volunteer there now, maybe like once every a couple of months now. But I used to volunteer every Sunday, and I was really deep, and I loved it. I go home with ribeyes, bro, like craziness, right? So it's like I got to go help. I got to be with community, some nice people, make feel good about myself a little bit because I'm helping people because I'm moving stuff in and out, and use my muscles a little bit, and then I get to go home with a lot of food. So like what is it that I want from that money? And that's what I invite anybody to explore when they tell me, that's what a goal is. It's like, well, all right, what is coming from that? Because yes, money gives us freedom, but what is it that we want, and what do we need from this? So anyway, oh my goodness, we got a bunch. Enjoyed lunch. Oh, blah blah blah. Money. Blah blah blah. Patrick says money is purely a tool to be leveraged, just like anything else. I'm at Patrick above that. There we go. Money is purely a tool to be leveraged, just like anything else. I think of money as potential at its root. Okay. Carol, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a minute, man. What are your guests' personal goals as a human being? Yeah, that's a good one, Carol. All right, we'll get back to that. Johnny says, I want to go to the McShin Recovery Celebration this recovery month, but I need money to get there from PA. What are we talking about? What's coming up this month? Johnny. Anyway, what's next? For pho, I go to Tejo, but honestly, I haven't found a phenomenal Thai place here yet. Okay, it's a lot of that's too many and tus all in one place. All right, so listen, let's go back to what Carol said. Carol, what are your guests' personal goals as a human being? Yeah, so beyond the money, what are your goals? 23.
Live free.
Live free.
Yeah.
What does living free mean for you?
Free from my demons.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like we all face demons in life, and it's just it's about how we face them, how we Yeah, that's a big one.
That's a big one.
That's a big one for me. Yeah.
Well, there's the physical freedom and the mental freedom.
Both.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And we talked, in a group we did a couple weeks ago, last week or whatever, I kind of alluded to the mental freedom when I talked about Sisyphus and the rock and and thinking of imagining Sisyphus happy. And, I think of that too. It's like we can be imprisoned in our mind, we can be imprisoned physically, but it's the mind, I think, is the biggest one, really. It's like you can't get in my mind. Well, I don't have to allow you to get into my mind. And I give up my freedom when I allow you to get in there and rent space. Now sometimes I want people in there. Like, Pat's one of my good friends. I love Johnny Fab. He's a good guy. He's one of my friends too. So, I love Art. He can get up there and get in my mind and rent some space. I actually really enjoy your company. You rent space in my head because I think about conversations we have all the time. So, like, and other people around here too. It's like I get this really cool opportunity to have ideas renting space in my brain all the time. But how I'd use that and what I do with that, that's up to me. That's not up to you. You know, that's where the freedom for me is. So taking that in. What other goals? Because living free is a great goal. But let's talk about, all right, get your CDL, all that stuff.
I mean, I want to give back. One day maybe go to like juvenile places and things like that, and kind of share a part of what I've been through and the things that I've done, and give people hope. That you can change. That you don't have to be stuck in one way. Just because of where you live, you don't have to be stuck in one way. And because I definitely know how it is. If you got multiple felonies, you just keep on racking them up because you just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm still to this day, I'm still trying to learn how to channel some of the things that I obsessed over. There's certain things that I want to go back. I want to go back to because I know how easy it is, but at the end of the day, it's really not worth it for real. And I tell myself this all the time, but it's definitely hard, but I know I can do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good goal. I want one day just go back and tell people, that you can do it.
Who do you have in your corner?
My family.
Okay.
Yeah. Like my aunt.
I met your aunt, didn't I?
Yeah, she's like the biggest supporter.
Yeah.
My good friend Samantha.
Yeah, I met Samantha.
My grandmother's there.
Your grandmother too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mother, she burnt out, but she there.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. How about around here? Have you found anybody in your corner around here?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, some of y'all guys are actually pretty cool. Some of y'all lame, but it's all good.
You can be lame and be in your corner at the same time.
Yeah, nah, it's all good. But nah, you know what I'm saying? Y'all care. You know what I'm saying? Especially if someone that you see that want to change.
I love that for you, going back and talking to the younger people and kind of being an example of hope and possibility of change. That I think that'd be great for you.
Yeah, man, because I can relate to a lot of people. I'm not saying I was out there gang banging this and that. I wasn't doing none of that, but I was definitely, in the mix of some sort, and I done seen a lot too. I done been around a lot. So it's like, it's not just someone that's seen it and that'll talk about it. No. That's someone that not just seen it on a screen or heard someone talk about it and then go back and talk about it. Like I've actually experienced, everything I say I experienced. So,
yeah,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? And the youth, that's our next generation. Those are the ones that's gonna be, that's gonna be managers and that's gonna be running the world. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to give off, a negative oppression. And then nowadays, my generation messed up. Everyone doing them fake 30s. It's like everyone doing drugs. Like that shit cool, you know. And I don't know. I don't know why, but
we are just about time to land this plane. But I want to.
it's my first podcast, so I'm a little, you know what I'm saying?
No, you're great.
You're
You're great, man. Oh,
next one I'm gonna ace it.
Did you just say you're nervous?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm getting caught up on what to say. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say the wrong shit.
No, man, you say the right shit. Say the shit that you want to say. That's the thing about this, and you'll be on here again if you want. I love this because this is what I know about you. When I saw you before the show, I mean, obviously you're nervous and you're goofy. I think you and I have a different, and I apologize. Yeah, gotcha. And you're silly and denying that you're nervous, and I'm like, man, I'm sorry, but I can see right through you. I know you're nervous, and that's okay. Like it's okay. It's like, I'm not gonna try. We're not here to try and hurt you at all. I'm not gonna put anybody in the seat who I don't want to see succeed. Or I don't think has the potential to succeed, and you do. You absolutely do. I love what you talk about, and I think Art hit it too. You and working with kids in the future. I see that for you too. I see that in you. I see that you're goofy. You know what I mean. Your silliness, your sense of humor, man. You absolutely have that in you. I see that. So, what else? There was another comment before. I think there was at the Nathan's story of self group is. Oh yeah. Well, I haven't done that in a while, Patrick. I don't do the Friday group anymore, but thanks. Authenticity and rhetoric is the key to an authentic message. Hey, Nathan. Hey, Shane. Whoa. You see that? Look at that. Who that? New podcast. Who dis? Shane. Shane was on the show last Thursday?
Yeah. Actually, the last one was Honesty, Monique, and Kit. So it was the one before that. So last Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, last Thursday. Yeah, last Thursday. That's awesome. Good to see you, Shane. I spent a lot of time with Kenyatta and watched him come out of his shell. He's a great guy, and he has def changed since he got to McShin. I'm so proud. Yeah. Now he's over. Kenyatta's up there. He's already moved to a step-up house, and that was really because he was getting close to the end of his days in intensive, and we needed the beds over here. I think we have like 20 intensive guys at this moment.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Which is more than the whole house. So like it's almost. I think all of Clark House at this point is also intensive at this point. So, in fact, I want to say that Clay went over there and took the TV out. Well, I don't know if that happened or not. Did he?
He did.
I heard that was going to happen.
Yeah, he did.
I kind of was like, why would you do it? Anyway, but he did it. That's a little trifling.
Yeah, I like that we got a TV.
But you don't watch it because you're a program participant, so you don't watch it.
Yeah, I definitely don't watch it.
I love New York House. That was probably my favorite house to be at.
Yeah, it's a nice house. Some things, and I know we've talked about this, but I want to put a couple more bugs in your ear real quick. Big suggestion for you, and something I've suggested to you in the past, and I just suggested this to you the other day, but I want to reiterate this. Learn how to cook something easy, something for yourself. Whether it's just to bake some chicken, steam some brown rice.
I do know how to cook. Take some noodles, crush them up, some cheeses, chop up some meat, some hot pickle, put it in the bag, let that joint swell up. Put some ranch on top of that money.
There you go.
Yeah.
Learn to cook something. Learn to cook something for yourself, but also something that you can share with another person. It's we talk about that independence piece. That you can go and eat Wawa every day.
Yeah, that's me.
You can eat Wawa every day, or you can go scavenge for pizza every day.
Nathan.
That might be me. But you know,
Yeah, you took like 3 boxes of pizza out of
his mother's got my number. But there is something about that, like as far as like me, I'm still learning how to pay bills on time, you know, and some of the life skills that just never really trickled down for me, when I was doing what I was doing for a long, long time. I present well, and I can get into things well. I can't sustain things well, and that's an issue that I work on. It's like, okay, how do I actually keep this going, maintain enthusiasm, actually do the things I say I'm going to do? It's like the things that I work on these days, and that's I struggle with that. And having these things that I know that I can do fine, like I can feed myself, when I'm broke, I got food. When I'm tired, I have a safe bed. I have pillows that I can hang out, clean sheets, things that I didn't always have back in the day. So pick up some of those skills and you impress a girl someday, the right girl. Maybe you found the right girl. I don't know, but you're the right girl. Anyway, final thoughts, Art.
Thank you, Kenyatta, for being you, man. It's nice having you around. It really is. And good luck on your journey.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah.
We got a couple of
we have more comments?
No announcements if you want to do.
Oh no, I know.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah.
Kenyatta, I'm gonna give
you did
Kenyatta.
awesome, man. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Kenyatta, man, I'm gonna give you a chance to say anything you want to say to your new fans.
I don't know, man. I'll be on the next podcast. It'll be better.
You did good.
You did great, man. You really did, man. You put your heart and soul. It's a tough thing to do. But thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing yourself with us and with the people. Like I told you before, man, most of our people watching and listening right now are currently incarcerated. So this is really important to see, that we can get out and find another way to do something, that we don't have to go back into these systems that are designed not to help, but to keep us down.
Yeah, I mean, like one thing about it, you know what I'm saying? Even if I ever make it, I ain't never gonna leave, those people behind.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna forget where I came from. You know what I'm saying? Like the system broken as hell.
Yeah.
And it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm never gonna switch up. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. And thank you again for being here today. And thank you, Art. I do have a couple of announcements. So first and foremost, before we get to the one you were just about to hit, let's do that one first. Yeah. So Honesty Liller. I'm sorry. Let me say that again. Best-selling author, Honesty Liller. CEO of the McShin Foundation, alumni, and a woman in long-term recovery. She will be hosting a book signing. Actually, I'm so sorry. Let me rephrase that. Barnes and Noble, the big BND or whatever. No, what did we call it the other day? I know. I know it's BAN, but we were having a whole laugh. It was a thing. Anyway, Barnes and Noble is hosting a book signing for best-selling author Honesty Liller here in Willow Lawn at Libby Mill. She'll be doing that on Saturday, this coming Saturday the 25th, 1 to 3 p.m. We understand that she'll be interacting with the individuals, probably walking around, talking, and having some fun. And if you haven't had a chance to check out her book, it is a very open, honest, real memoir of a woman in recovery. This coming Friday, which is tomorrow, isn't it? Holy crap.
Tomorrow we have...
Dun, 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 dun. Tomorrow is Care Talks, Comprehensive Addiction Recovery Education Talks. And what does recovery mean to you being the topic? That is tomorrow, June 24th, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll be able to do this in person here at the McShin Foundation. You all know the address. If you don't, just, look at the thing. If you cannot watch it, live in person, you can watch it live through Facebook, or you can go back and watch the video of it. So we'll have that back for you too. We have some incredible speakers. We've got Mandy Brando, who just released her own book about a year or so ago. She is our director of jail what is her title? I don't know. She's justice program. She goes into the jails and does the work. We have Steven Shinholzer. He is a person whose brother, I think 3 of his siblings are in recovery. One of whom is John Shinholzer, co-founder and president of the McShin Foundation. We have Corey Clark, who was on the show.
Actually, Corey Clark is not going to be there tomorrow. I just got a text
Oh,
from
no.
Honesty. Replacing Corey tomorrow night as a speaker will be Chelsea Rushbrook.
Oh, okay. Well, Chelsea Rushbrook, she's alumni of the McShin Foundation. In fact, she is the alumni coordinator here at the McShin Foundation. Chauncey Beeston, who I can't read that. What is it?
Chauncey Beeston.
I know Chauncey, but I don't know the last name. B is what I know her as. Chauncey, who is doing some incredible work to make sure that comprehensive harm reduction is forward and foremost in our minds as we go through here. Traquan Tyler, he might do some, I'm not going to say what he's going to do, but he's going to do some stuff at the end. He'll be a little bit surprised. Enid Osborne, she is a woman in recovery and also works at SAMHSA. She does some great stuff for us. And Jamie Alston, who was also on the pod. Actually, everybody there, I think Chauncey's been on the podcast. Mandy's been on. Traquan's been on, I think. Well, Jamie Alston was on too. Jamie is always a favorite of mine. So should be a good show. And by show, I mean should be a good series of talks tomorrow, 6 to 8 p.m. I am frozen in my brain. What am I missing?
Next Tuesday, we will be having Clay, the men's program manager from McShin Foundation. He will be on here.
Clay with a K will be on the show on Tuesday. Tuesday is June 28th. June 28th is traditionally, it's the day of the Stonewall riots back in 1968. So Clay and I will be there talking about Pride Month, and what that means in Stonewall and all that good stuff. And then I know that I have a surprise for the last Thursday of the month, and then we go into July, which we're currently setting up. So I think we're done, aren't we? I think we're done. Hey, listen, we'll see you again next Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Again, Kenyatta, man, I really appreciate you. Good stuff. Good talk. Looking forward to seeing what you do moving forward here.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, Art. Take care. And what do we say, Art?
Stay in the
herd.